This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Southampton Local School Committee to order. The time is 6:03. We have two items on the agenda tonight. The first one is our public hearing. And I see we're on live.
We are
Do we
live.
have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Who made the motion? Who seconded?
I made the
Margaret.
motion.
Kim and then Margaret.
Thank you for taking notes, Dylan.
Oh, you're taking notes?
I said thank you for taking notes.
Sorry.
Nice try.
So, at this moment, there's nobody here from the public to speak one way or the other on the budget, so we'll just go through, we'll start the recap, projected on the screen, and we'll stay on the summary page right now. So, this is what we approved last week when we met, a total budget of, let me make that a little smaller. There we go. Total budget of $6,665,375, of which we have offsets of a total of $1,015,950, which leaves the town contribution or the general fund taxation contribution of $5,649,425, which is $257,705 higher than expiring, or a 4.78% increase. This section is what the voters are familiar with seeing at town meeting. And you'll see the 5649425 drops down. And we have the school choice tuition of $49,933, which is a direct copy and paste from the cherry sheet distribution, so that will potentially change as it goes on, higher or lower. Local school transportation is still a pending item, but this assumes a 5% increase over expiring, and we're still waiting on a copy of the contract. That's $399,142,000, which I believe is the total local transportation plus special bulk transportation that we have. The one bus and the one minivan is in that line representing that number. Charter school tuition out is $204,553. Vocational tuition out, worst case scenario, is $1,141,609. Past practice has indicated that we usually have somewhere between an 88 and 90% acceptance rate of those that originally apply. This assumes everybody that applies is going, so that number will more than likely be reduced down, but the select board controls that number. Vocational transportation, $66,402. Hampshire Regional my comment up above was the Norris children that have van pool for transportation.
Okay.
Is in that 399 number.
The operating budget's going to go down a little bit for Hampshire? Based
Yes,
on-
yeah.
Based on the last meeting?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. This is just the one that we approved and was
Yep.
published.
Yep.
And then Hampshire Regional at that time was $5,757,768. There is no debt for Hampshire Regional to be carried forward, so the total ask as of then was $13,268,831, or $591,991 higher than expiring, which got us to a 4.67 ask.
So can I just ask a couple questions, just for my own edification? What was the big jump from 23 to 24? That's a really big jump. And now we're basing everything off of FY '24, but that was a really big jump. Do we know, was there something in particular that caused that?
Well, it's what, 250,000, 200?
Almost 300,000.
Yeah, 350, right?
No.
5,040,000 to 5,003,000.
From 23 to 24.
23 to 24. That's one
well, I'm
point.
specifically
Oh, you're looking
at
up
the
here.
North line.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's where,
Yeah, so
Oh,
350, so about 350,000.
Well, that's the town contribution.
But I believe
I'm
the big-
asking about the total budget.
I think that, if I remember correctly, that's the year we basically fixed a lot of the issues. So we started the neurodiversity program, we did the
Contract, the new contract too?
that was fiscal year, yeah, the new contract, but that wasn't that big of it, that wasn't.
No, but
But I'm thinking that was.
But it's
some of it. But
primarily the
there was-
neurodiversity
There
program?
was stuff that was buried, that was paid, there were lines that were paid
School choice.
directly out of school choice that were not on the general ledger.
we put the vice principal's
So we put the vice
salary.
principal on the
Yeah.
general ledger
Got it.
and then did
That makes
did the
perfect
math,
sense.
but
Okay.
so it's not really an increase, it's just
transparency.
Yep, got
balancing the
it.
tables.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Oh, my second question
Yes.
is what is your feeling about select board accepting this budget?
well, the update on that is after we met, and I presented this budget on behalf of the school committee to both finance and select board. And we went through every single line and explained everything, and explained up on top why our thought process on using all the anticipated revenue for tuition in, but not using any of the reserves built up of roughly 236. Finance committee, nobody made any comments about having to do reductions. All the comments were 236,000 is not enough of a reserve for Norris.
Okay.
So, but at the end, I believe we can confirm, as far as we know, we currently have 2 children out of district, and one of them will be moving on to 7th grade. And as of now, we do not have an incoming out-of-district placement,
Correct.
right? So there's another built-in safety down there
Okay, great.
in the expenses. Now, this budget does show the ARPA of the 84, this requires the town to fund another 84,854, an ARPA that isn't currently approved, but is pending. So this was that one. Here is, I would suggest we move to, this is an updated budget, and you're going to see slightly difference. It ends up dropping by 3.32 or 3 something.
Do we have this?
No,
No?
no. Okay. And this is the budget that I would recommend that we approve afterwards. So you can see the budget we were just looking at, the total cost was round number $17,000 higher. This is $17,000 lower, and I'll explain where it is. Right? So the contributions all remain the same, with the exception, I removed the ARPA because, in all honesty, there's only 30,000 available in ARPA. So the likelihood we're going to get the 84, so it took that out. So we lost 84. The budget's $17,000 less. We lost 84 of non-tax money, which makes the ask to the town of $5,631,000. Right? Which is still less than what we had because we were asking for $5,649,000.
Okay.
So where'd that go?
Yep. So if you follow along, I circled the differences, but it's not on the screen. So starting here, $28, we did not increase school committee advertising, or school committee advertising to $1,400. I have another, which I can share with all of you. After we had our hearing and voted on this, I got an updated document that had 2 columns over on the end with actual spends,
Okay.
right?
Great, okay.
So this particular line item, we spent $220. So I know it's only 28, but that's one of the changes. Assistant principal, The contract has been ratified, it's a 3.5%, that increase.
So that's the number that we said, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a $3,001 increase, or total difference now is
Yep.
$3,001. Then it's the salaries, or teacher salaries. We have, this shows a .53, and I went back and took the payroll, and I went line by line to match everybody to make sure everyone's there, and they are. And I tied it out, and 3.769592 is the accurate number. The problem here is the year before, 3749824 is not the accurate number. It's overstated,
Oh, okay, so,
which is causing a .53 there. I did not take the time to go through fiscal, because fiscal '24 bottom line numbers match what the town voted on. I didn't take the time to figure out where the error is on that side,
Okay.
all right? So that's really showing on, here is only a 19,000.
so, all right, so fiscal '24 shows on here incorrectly.
Yeah.
So it looks, so that's why that's so .53 is correct if you based it on a correct FY '24
Right,
number.
and if you put the correct number into '24, it would be a 3.9% increase.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, I
And that
understand.
includes the contractual increase plus
All the steps.
fully funding all teachers out of there and no more teachers being paid as school choice.
Great.
Okay?
Okay,
I like that.
Neurodiversity, 5362 is the same. The professional salaries, the difference is 42,870, not the 74 that's there.
where, which one are you on now?
Paraprofessional salaries.
Paraprofessionals,
Why is that?
That's a jump. So why did that,
614.
did that get pulled out of some choice two to be more transparent,
Well,
or is it
there was-
additional people?
Same thing, it was, on what we passed, it was a $74,000 increase.
Okay.
Right. But right, this is everybody being pulled out.
Okay.
And then you have your paras coming out for the neurodiversity, there's 5 of them.
All right, so then that number's different too, right?
Yeah.
Then 143. Are you going to send us this?
Yeah,
All right,
okay.
that's fine. If you're just going to, I'm not going to keep taking notes if you're going
Yeah.
to send us a copy of it.
And then the only other change was our custodial salaries. And we should have seen this. Where is it? How does it show? 176. Yeah, it shows a 30% increase in custodial salaries. That's overstated. Or actually, the budget that we approved was 176. We were only showing a $3,000 jump.
So it should be, it's more?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you think backwards, right, last year,
Right.
the end of last year, we had a temp in as a custodian, being paid out a different line. Now they're back in, and then.
So the
just-
30%, why do we have a 30%?
So. Pull up the workbook. If I can find you quickly. Here we go. All right.
There's no names, right?
There is, if I hit this.
Because it's
button.
on the screen.
Yeah, I know.
All right, you don't have, I mean,
Let me stop sharing. Okay. So we're going to stop sharing the document because what I'm going to open up has employees' names on it. So. But on this document that we were given, you know, it has the 24 salaries broken out by category, which all ties out. And again, custodian expiring for 24 was 210,000, and that's.
oh, okay, and that's not what it shows there. Okay, I understand.
Right.
All right. Okay.
And
So it looks like it, again, it's one of, it looks like that's the difference between the incorrect 24 number.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. I understand.
So then, again, assuming we're not going to get the $85,000 from ARPA, it drops us down to, we're asked, Norris is asking the town for 4.45 instead of 4.7. And we're absorbing 100% of the neurodiversity now,
Right.
instead of asking for that 50% offset,
Okay.
which makes the bottom line for all the whole school section of 4.29.
Okay.
For the entire, between the two, amongst all the school obligations.
Yep.
And does that 4.29 include the revised budget from
Hampshire?
Hampshire's public hearing?
5,727,471.
I don't have it with me.
It's like a $37,000 reduction.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would probably be right, because I think that was about the amount that was,
I thought it was a 91,000, but then what effect did that have on them?
that had no effect on it.
Okay,
Because
right.
that was supposed to come out of school
That was
choice.
a wash.
That was a wash.
Right.
And now that's gone. Yeah.
Was there another change in there somewhere?
Yeah, there was a additional transportation money, 50,000.
54,000 that was used to also bring the assessments down, but that didn't affect our assessment.
Oh,
that
right,
much.
that's right, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't keep everything straight.
So,
I know.
time is 6:20, and there's nobody here from the public. So I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Kim, seconded by
Second.
Dylan. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm slow.
Sorry.
What time?
6:20.
6:20, session closed. Okay, thank you.
So now, what do we want to do?
All right.
Do we want to approve the revised?
Can I still just want to make sure that this is all going to pass at town meeting, and if there is an override involved.
What, from my select board hat, as of last night, which is preliminary, because we have not dove into revenue yet. We've seen a summary sheet, but we haven't dove into it yet. So I'll preface my words on that. What I saw last night is I do not believe for the general budget that there will be any override. There
Okay.
may be debt exclusions, but they will have nothing to do with the general
Okay,
budget.
so that would be specific to
A
a
certain
project
project
or
going on in town.
okay, and not the general budgets?
Yep.
So that we're not facing what Jay Sullivan calls a no before you get to yes.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Next Wednesday is the night that we're gonna start looking at the revenue from, it's a joint meeting of finance and select board.
Okay. I'll probably come to that.
So, on that front, my memory is if we keep the total education under 5%, that typically covers Norris and the high school at 2.5 each, or is that wonky math?
Well, it could, but I also think vocational is gonna come down 141,000. I think vocational is gonna be very close to last year, 938,
Okay.
which is gonna drop that number even more,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
Let's just, if I made it the same,
This is my paranoia coming out about town meeting votes.
Has there been any discussion about splitting the Hampshire Regional and Norris budget again?
it gets it down to 2.68 if vocational stays the same year over year.
Wow.
So,
But we don't want to count on that, so you're going to put the higher number in.
correct, and then let the select board make that decision, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially on that line item, because it's theirs.
But we only have to vote on the Norris budget, right? Right.
Correct, it's just,
Yeah, it's just how
Oh,
it all,
we
I mean,
want
it
to
all
see
ties in.
how it all,
yeah.
I understand that, but our.
And the vote will be split again between the Hampshire budget will be separate to ask Dylan's question again.
nobody's asked for that yet.
Okay.
Is anyone going to ask for that?
Well, I asked for it last year, and I don't see the need to ask for it this year, but somebody else may approach the bottom,
Okay. Okay. All right.
you know.
All right, so would you be able to share your screen again so we can, I want to see the accurate numbers for what we're planning to do here. Is it time for a motion? Well, I'm going to make a motion, and if you guys want
Lisa, are
to.
you comfortable with the budget as presented?
Yes.
That's all I need to know.
Okay, so, I move that we request a total operating budget of $6,562,601, funded with $931,096 of non-town revenue, and up to $5,631,505 local contribution.
Seconded.
Did you get those numbers?
Can you repeat the last one more time?
5,631,505, which represents a 4.45 change. There's a motion made by Kim, it's seconded by Margaret. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. The only other item that we have to discuss, and I think we need to continue it yet again.
Before we go there,
Okay. Is there, anybody have anything else?
thank you for doing this, all you guys.
Yeah.
This been, and this updates is tremendous. Just seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, John.
No problem.
He still doesn't want to give us this administrative.
The pending item that we have on the table is this calendar. But I'm assuming we still haven't got the contract back from Stephen after today's email.
I saw your email. I have no idea why.
Okay.
And I emailed them that very next day we had the school committee meeting.
That's about as polite as I can be when I'm mad in that email. So the next step is to forward, and I think, as the chair, is to forward the email to Kimberly. Actually, I would suggest, if they happen to be listening tonight, that if we don't have an answer to that, there's no contract on file, and therefore the town accountant should be informed immediately to cease all payments. Can't make payments if we don't have a contract in place on file with the town accountant. Since they don't want to give it to us after repeated ask, we can stop payment on, I'm sure they have 120,000 coming due to them. Seem to get other people's attentions. We tried that.
But was it the kind of attention you wanted, John?
I want the contract. I want to know if a 5% increase is accurate. Step one, for the
Right.
budget.
Right.
Step two is
So wait,
the school calendar
you
thing.
just asked them for a copy of a contract and they're
Of
not?
the executed
And they
contract.
haven't,
In 2 weeks now. I don't know.
okay then.
Wow.
So is that it?
So if there's nothing else, our next regular school committee meeting will be April 10th at 6 o'clock in this room, and we'll have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, no debate. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
6:25, thank you.
John, I will
That
was fantastic. 22 minutes?
Oh my God.